Okay, looks like we are live. I'm recording this on TradingView and YouTube. So I'll get started in about 10-15 seconds or so. So as always, this is my daily trading outlook and market update. So I'll go over kind of what I went over on my weekly outlook, kind of the pairs and the market that I mentioned that will be on my watch list and what has moved and what hasn't, and what are some opportunities for the next upcoming 1 or 2 days. Okay, so I'll go over them. Like I said, I'll go over the currency, commodity, equity, and crypto. Okay, so I will get started now. So let's get started with dollar index. Okay, and dollar index again. If you guys been looking at my postings, I was always looking for a dollar push. So we have this double bottom, and then price did form a potential continuation pattern, which is good. So I do see this as an expanding kind of flat kind of continuation. So we do have a higher probability this trade can go up. And if we break this overall structure and break and then form a continuation here, this will be very good to take more of the strength on the dollar pairs, and that will continue the dollar strength overall. So let's look at a few dollar pairs. Few dollar pairs that I'm looking at that's also the same that's in my weekly outlook. So Aussie dollar has already moved. I mentioned about this was the impulsive move and this is the correction. So look for a completion of this correction and then look for the next sell. So we are seeing this as a potential completion of this structure here, and we can expect this move in the upcoming days. And if we do get the breakout, like I mentioned, and this will be a better trade. If we do get this breakout out of the correction, then look for the down, look for the sell to all the way down here. That would be a very good risk reward trade. So let's go on to Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi dollar, yeah, we have this rising wedge and then price fall down. And then on the lower time frame, again, the completion of this kind of structure. So we're seeing price is dropping now, which is good. So since it broke out a correction, so look for continuation on the lower time frame. We do still have lots of room. This is the next low. So expect price to slowly trickle down if we get the right correction to push the price down. Let's look at euro dollar. I'm going over these really quick because I have talked about them in my weekly outlook. I'm just going over the one that is progress and that show more kind of a price action going on. So euro dollar again, we see this overall structure, so we know that this is the impulsive move from this double top right here. And if we get some sort of breakout out of this structure, then yes, we can see continuation down to the lows. Do expect this move to happen in the next coming days. Do like the overall structure as well. I do like this double top. And pretty much price just have to clear this low. If we get this breakout, lower time frame correction, then this is going down. So keep an eye on this one because that is most of the dollar pairs is at that point where you will see that kind of a dollar strength if we get the right price action. Pound dollar, double top right here. We have pretty much an almost a head and shoulder pattern as well. So price was in this kind of ascending channel formation. We broke out that channel. So on the lower time frame, looks like it will form some sort of continuation correction here. So this would be a valid sell as well. If we get that correction here, then again, looking at if we zoom out a little bit, we're just at the top of the overall structure, right? So we have that reason the double top on the higher time frame, which is very good. We're looking at the price at this point now. We have seen this huge kind of a bullish push on the upside, but we failed to make any continuation correction. Instead, it's kind of showing the reversal structures that we're seeing. So if we get this push down, then I wouldn't be surprised to see price get pushed all the way down here. Because if we zoom out, we're still in this overall structure. We're still in this overall structure, and there's just so much room for the downside. So I don't want to miss this trade as well. Okay, so that is pound dollar. Let's move on to a couple other pairs. So Aussie CAD was on my watch list for weeks now, and if we zoom in a little bit, so I think last on my weekly outlook I mentioned about this head and shoulder pattern, and then we have this kind of reversal I love when price push up like this, and then instead of forming a continuation correction, it forms a reversal correction. So this is a right away impulse down opposite, and this is the correction I'm looking for. And this is a valid sell right here to enter, and then we're seeing price push down now. So again, price is stalling here, so expect some sort of correction here again, and we can expect this to go. And I like how they already cleared this low here. So I do expect this one to get pushed down next couple of days. And so much room to the downside. This will be the first low, and that's the second low. So I don't want to miss all this trade. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity in between to add into your short stuff. So this is I'm going to be on my watch for a couple of weeks moving forward. Let's look at Aussie Kiwi. I think Aussie Kiwi. Um, Aussie key is going down, right? I mentioned about here when I make the post earlier, look for continuation of this correction. And if this correction is developing bigger to correct this move, that just give you a better chance that this move is happening to the downside. I did went over DXY actually. That was actually the first one I went over, right? The first one I went over DXY is just that I'm biased for dollar strength. So like the double bottom, I'm here. Like the push to the upside followed by a correction. So I do want to see if we get a push outside of here, and then this is going to give me the extra confluence to push all the dollar pairs in the upcoming weeks. Okay, so let's go to EuroCAD. So EuroCAD is great. I mentioned earlier to wait for a continuation correction. So that is the continuation correction that I'm seeing. Also, we saw this head and shoulder pattern as well. So this was the valid sell right here, and price has been dropping. So I do expect price to make some sort of correction here once more and to continue down. Once price broke out of this correction here very impulsively, pretty much this move is going to happen. All right, so down to this low right here. So look for more sell setup down to the low. I do like this trade. I'm already in this trade as well. So very keen to see what price would do at this level. If it breaks impulsively out of it, then perfect. I'm going to add in more sell position if I do see some sort of continuation here. So that's EuroCAD, that's little Kiwi Swiss. Where am I based? I'm based in Vancouver. So I'm in Vancouver, Canada. How long have I been trading? I've been trading for I think 6, 7 years full time. So that's kind of my journey pretty much. Kiwi Swiss, going over Kiwi Swiss here. So again, I already seen this as the impulsive move. This is a correction. Okay, the next impulsive move. So this, I'm already in this sell from all the way here, which is good. Now, in my weekly outlook, I mentioned this is the continuation correction that's developing. So the longer this correction develop, the better it is that it's going to correct this move, and we're getting another move down here. Okay, so it's just a little bit more consolidating. Maybe price will form a little bit more correction this way. But nevertheless, as long as this structure is still valid, then it's still correcting this move, and we're getting the next sell right here. Okay, so that's Kiwi Swiss. That's pretty much all the kind of the currency pair I'm looking at. I'm gonna go over commodity. So commodity, let's look at sugar. Yeah, sounds good. I'll make them periodically, so feel free to join whenever you can. Thank you. Sugar, I've been looking at sugar for weeks. We do see a overall breakout from this impulse correction, and we're getting this impulse. And what I like about the lower time frame is we're getting this kind of a continuation structure. And like always, when I mention just because price breaks out of the structure doesn't mean it's going to go all the way up. What's likely to do is to wait for a continuation correction. If we get this kind of a squeeze, then we get this move, then this would be a very valid sell all the way up to before the COVID drop. So there's a lot of room here to the upside, so don't miss this trade. Again, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, so don't rush into the trade yet because that's how we get pegged in and out in when price is consolidating here. So make sure you wait for the correct move and then add into buy if you see that upcoming. Okay, let's go over gold really quick. Gold, because obviously gold has been on my watch list for a really long time. And I actually made a video about gold last week as well about fear of missing out, and then how traders got caught up in this zone when price is just consolidating. Um, Either way, this is what I'm seeing. And in my video, in my weekly, I'll mention if price breaks up, if we don't get a continuation correction, then don't look for that buy. Okay, so there's probably a lot of traders who jump in the buy here, here, here. Whatever the case, they're usually all stop out now, right? Because we see this, instead of price form a reversal kind of structure, we get this push down, we get this continuation. In my weekly outlook, I mentioned this is a valid sell setup. I personally didn't take this sell, but I mentioned this was a valid sell setup to break the low, and if we break the low, we get another continuation, then that is my trade. So price pretty much did exactly that in the last couple, 1 to 2 days or so. We get this impulse, we have this correction, and then we have this huge impulse down, pretty much tagging all the traders who were in their buys on gold, literally, right? When we break the all-time high, the all-time high was about 1920 or so. When we broke all-time high, when we break the 2000 level, I'm sure there's a lot of traders just eager to jump in the buys, and either break even or get stopped out because of this strong impulse move. So very likely for me to see what happened now is uh, price will develop some sort of continuation here, and this will be my ideal sell setup to take the trade down to the next lows. I think there's a pretty good room to the downside. Okay, whatever happened here is going to be crucial because this is the correction I'm looking for. It can get triggered up a little bit, forming some sort of wedge or some sort of ascending channel, making this some sort of head and shoulder pattern, and then we're still getting this sell. Very biased for a sell now because I see this over and over in the market. When we zoom out to this, we look at this higher time frame perspective. When price breaks some sort of all-time high, okay, just like in this case, which is what price will likely to push up a little bit more. Just getting all the traders in there, buying all their buy positions. And once all the buy orders are filled, we're gonna see a huge drop in momentum. Usually some uh, bigger institution, hedge fund or whatever, bigger players with the cash, they're gonna get in and they're going to peg a lot of traders out. And that's how the market moves over and over again. So when I see something like this on gold, my bias right away is look for that sell because this kind of strong move, if it's going to continue, it's going to need some sort of correction here. And this correction will be super crucial for the upcoming gold as well, and it's going to affect the dollars as well. So I do really want to keep a very keen eye on what's going to happen in gold upcoming days. All right, so that's commodity. Let's go to equity. We have a few equity on watch. I am looking at Aurora. I made a post about Aurora still waiting. This was in my weekly outlook as well. Uh, this is pretty much just textbook setup, right? We have this strong impulse to the upside. We have this continuation, and I'm just looking for the next impulse. Simple as that. So how do you manage to get this? Well, price is still in this big consolidation, right? So don't jump in the trade. I keep telling everyone, don't just buy now because price can likely to get triggered more and more and more, and you're just going to get stop out or break even. And once all the orders are filled, they're just going to have a massive shoot to the upside. So structurally, nothing changes. It's just that whether this structure is ready to go or it's going to need a few more days or weeks to develop and trickling down a little bit more before the next buy. That's how I see on Aurora. Okay, I do like to see what happened is if I do see a breakout like this, then look for a lower time frame continuation correction. That will be my entry to take the trade up. All right, so that's Aurora. Let's look at Boeing because I'm in Boeing for this trade. Again, I mentioned about Boeing for a really long time already. Last week I mentioned this was the descending kind of channel. Price is tagging the lows of this structure here, and then we're getting this impulsive move to the upside, right? And over here I mentioned if we get this continuation correction, look for the next buy because the buy position will be very good to push the price up. So we get this buy, we get this correction here, which is really crucial. So if we go back to the charts, this was that really kind of clean, kind of, I would say again, textbook kind of thing. We have this impulse, we have this kind of flag structure, and we're getting the second impulse up. So price did manage to pull back a little bit, but that's fine because it's likely to develop a little bit bigger structure, then we're still going upside. So very likely for this trade to continue upside and looking to hold this trade for long term as well. There's so much room to the upside that I would be at least looking for this top here as the potential target. And the next target for me would be the highs before the COVID drop. Okay, so that's Boeing. I think MasterCard was on my list because it broke out. So again, looking for the upcoming moves as well, right? Already looking for enter from here once it breaks out this structure. So now we're approaching the all-time high. So what do we see on the lower time frame? Well, there was a continuation structure. We do see price get pushed up a little bit and then a little bit retrace from end of hours or so. So expect price to get pushed up more, in my opinion. We do see this move very likely to happen as well through the daily tops, and watch what price will do when it reach the daily tops here. Is it going to likely break out, or is it going to form some sort of reversal, and we're coming back down again? So that's Mastercard. Let's look at Nike. So Nike, already had that bullish move breakout, I see. So we look at this as from a higher time frame. We do see the impulsive move, and we're seeing this kind of a triangle continuation structure. We see the first breakout, and as I mentioned, look for a continuation correction. So continuation correction happened. We get this buy, so already heads up to the top. So how do we take this now? Well, what is it happening now? It's just consolidating. So it's very likely to build up another continuation correction, just like the previous one before, and look for the next buy. That's how I would take it. That's how I would keep my trade as well from the buys here, because there's just once it breaks this high, because it's already at the all-time high if we zoom out a little bit. And if price is consolidating here, which is a very good sign that it's building up more momentum to push the price up. Okay, so if I go to the 4 hour here, you see that before the COVID drop was pretty much the all-time high. We have this COVID drop, we have the price rebound, and then forming some sort of continuation correction here, push the price up. Now it's just forming another bigger continuation to push the price up. So whatever happened here on the intraday charts is going to be crucial. Again, looking for a continuation correction to take the buy. Do you think the buy is very likely to happen because I already see this impulsive move to the upside? To really like this bullish push to the upside, really like this correction. So this correction here, once it forms, it's going to give me more upside potential. Okay, so that's Nike. I'm gonna go over crypto at the end. So let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, I'm still looking for upside. In my weekly outlook, when the price is about here already, I mentioned don't jump in the trade because this structurally is not finished. It's just developing a bigger structure now, and I do likely to see a push to the downside, completing this structure before the move up. I'm already in the buy from the bottom here. If we go to the intraday charts, I already mentioned a buy opportunity here was very valid. And then once you reach up here, wait for a bigger continuation correction. Okay, so look for get in, but don't jump in the trade because now the price is going to be very volatile. Now you see this move down here like that. So price likely to be bouncing around in this region because it's correcting this bullish impulse. So be careful not to just jump in the trade, not to be um, not to get fear of missing out. Again, that's a video I made about don't get fear to miss out the trades. Okay, just wait for the market to develop the correct price action and get in the trade. Let's look at Ethereum. Yeah, I can answer those questions at the end. Okay, so let's look at Ethereum, and so if we zoom out on a higher time frame, again, this move I already been looking at from the bottom. Right, we have the structure from breaking out of this on continuation structure. We see this breakout. This was actually my trade to go long. We're bullish push to the upside. We have a continuation correction. We have another bullish push to the upside. Now it's just forming a larger correction. So think about if we zoom back a little bit, think about how big this correction is to correct this overall move. Sorry, to correct this overall bullish move to the upside. So expect something to correct here just as big to push the upside. If we go to the 1 hour chart, you can see that I'm already bearish. I mean, sorry, bullish. Excuse me. I'm already bullish from the bottom. Okay, for entering here. Was looking for entering here as well. Now it's just taking a bigger continuation correction. So just wait for price to form a bigger continuation before the buy. So same thing with Bitcoin. Don't need to jump in because there's so much room to the upside. So let's look at Link. Yeah, I'll go over silver after as well. Give me a second. I'll finish all the crypto first. I'll go back to silver. So Link, again, we'll go to the intraday charts. Already looking for a buy out of this correction here. So you get the bullish push to the upside now. So what to do now? Again, look for a bigger continuation. It's already developing here, and it's already looking pretty good for more upside. So be a little bit patient because chances are price will consolidate a little bit longer before the push up. And even if you miss the breakout, it's going to form some sort of smaller correction as it go up. See right here? This is a small correction I at least got in for a trade to the upside. But look for if it breaks out, then look for a smaller continuation. That would be a potential entry as well. Let's look at Ripple and Bitcoin. It was on my watch list for a while as well because if we zoom out on the higher time frame, just zoom out a little bit. Still like the price overall in this kind of a descending channel structure on the higher time frame. We do have this descending channel push up, larger expansion, kind of flat continuation. We've had the price push up. It may be forming some sort of descending channel as well here to correct this move here, and we're still going upside. So it's a little bit slow. I do see the price action as very clear right now. I do see a little bit more consolidating here, so be a little bit careful on what the price will do. It may form a continuation correction here to go up, or it may trickle down once more. Okay, so be a little careful on this because Bitcoin is also strong. That's why I do think Ripple is strong, but I think Bitcoin is just as strong. That's why Ripple for Bitcoin is a little bit unclear. Let's look at Ripple in general because Ripple obviously is strong. Looking for the buy already from the bottom, continuation breakout, continuation correction. We have the bullish push up, and now it's just forming a larger correction, just like the correction formed here. So very, very clean. It's just waiting for price to fully complete its correction and look for a breakout and then look for continuation because we're just at the very beginning of this move. We zoom out on the higher time frame. Structurally, nothing changes. This is still that kind of descending channel structure I see. We see this bullish push up correction. We see the push up on the outside. So expect some sort of correction here to take the next buy move. This is very key to see if we're going to get this push up. And I do see this has a very high probability because we break out. Instead of forming some sort of reversal correction, it actually form a continuation correction here. So once it finish, I do think it's a very good high probability to take the trade up. Okay, XTZ Bitcoin, same idea here. If we zoom out a little bit, we're on this, looking at the daily chart. I do like the structure overall. I do like the push up, followed by a larger kind of continuation structure. It's sitting at top now. So if we get a continuation correction here, this is a very valid buy for me. It's already at the all-time high, right? So if we break the all-time high correction, this is a buy for me. Last one for crypto, XTZ dollar. So we get this push up. Let me just go to the intraday. So we get this push up on this channel here. We get this kind of a flat structure continuation. We have to push up. Now just waiting for this correction to form. I do think this can form just like the Ripple, all that stuff, Ripple and Ethereum, just waiting for a bigger continuation correction to form here. And we're taking it to the upside. Okay, so that is all the crypto I'm going to talk about. I'm going to look at silver really quick. Actually, don't trade silver. I actually focus on gold, but it's going to be very similar. So very same idea. If we zoom on the higher time frame, what did price break, right? We break some sort of recent high or a really higher time frame double top. Okay, so this is the double top I'm seeing. It break the double top and see what price do. Instead of keep going, it just had a massive drop to the downside. Right, this is the weekly. If we go on the daily, same idea, right? This candle pretty much engulfed like 3 or 4 days of price action, right? So if we go on to the intraday charts, pretty much same idea as what Go I mentioned. Price breaks some sort of double top or a very very respectable area because there was the previous tops, and then people usually have some sort of resistance support level here. We broke the all-time top, not all-time top, the previous top, and then we have this reason double top, and then we have a price drop down like this. So really, same idea as what I mentioned in gold. If you get a continuation correction here, this is a very valid sell because this makes it a head and shoulder pattern. This makes perfectly to catch traders on the wrong side because it breaks all the previous high, and then in one day of price action, we see this price drop. So look for a continuation for the sell. That's how I see silver. Okay. So that is all the pairs I'm looking at for the upcoming days, guys. If you have any pairs you want to see, I can go over them really quick. If not, I'll answer these questions. So questions for end of live stream. I'm reading this right now. Did you have a full-time job to save up capital to trade full-time? And how long did it take for you to be profitable? Okay. Yes, I do. I definitely do have a job prior to becoming a full-time trader because you need to get more capital, right? So you need to have certain amount of job to save up some capital at least amount that you're willing to risk and willing to invest in. How long did it take you to be profitable? To be honest, I was not profitable for the first 2 years. Let me repeat, I was not profitable for the 2 years. I have no problem saying that because that is the truth. Okay, a lot of people learn differently. Like some people are smarter, some people are just more into have the right mindset or have the right emotion to trade. Okay, so they understand trading a little bit better than others. They have better idea of risk management and how to control emotion, things like that. So for me personally, I went through at least 2 years or something or so to be in the journal kind of to be pretty much not consistent. You can have a winning month, but you can have a losing month. So your question to be profitable, I would probably put it more like not consistent for myself, meaning that I can like again be profitable in one month, be not profitable the other month, be profitable in 3 months, and then not be profitable for the next quarter or so. Okay, so risk allocation per trade, pretty simple. I go by 1 or 1.5% of the capital of the account that I trade with. Again, that is up to each individual traders, of course. It depends on their risk tolerance and kind of how they want to trade. Typically, if you're trading a bigger account capital, you won't be risking more. It's just how typical risk management could be, right? If you're trading a smaller size, you want to go 2%. I think that's reasonable as well to grow an account. Certainly don't think trading more than that is consistent or following a strict risk management plan. Do you trade with trend lines and continuation patterns only? Um, Pretty much I trade price action. To put it more simplicity is, let me just, I'm just using this as the quickest example so it's simple to understand. What I'm looking for is price action continuation. Okay, so let me just explain that. Uh, a simple way to see it is when I see an impulsive move and then I'm waiting for a correction to complete and I'm getting in for the next move. Okay, so I'm pretty much waiting for an impulse, continuation correction. I'm waiting for the next impulse. It's not about the time frame or about the pairs or whatever it is. It's about price action structure. All right. I understand this is how the market moves over and over again. Doesn't matter which market, which pair, which time frame. It doesn't matter what you're looking at because that is how the market moves. Okay. This is so hard for a lot of people to grasp because there's so many different trading strategies or style or whatever out there, which might blind people on really what the market is trying to tell you. This is why you see my chart. I don't have any indicators. I don't have any I don't know, support resistant or zones or whatever people use, Elliott wave or Fibonacci, whatever people use. Again, I'm not saying they don't work. I'm pretty much saying what I'm doing as a trader is I'm focusing on what I'm focused on, right? I'll be honest, I used to be a support and resistant trader. Okay, that is in my first 2 years of trading where I probably was not profitable or consistent to answer that question. Um, Pretty much, I'm just uh, pretty much a break-even trader, if you want to call it, and that's why getting into this is a lot better for me. I see the market more clearly, and that is how I'm transitioning myself into. So, okay, down analysis. Yeah, I can do that. So down analysis, yeah, I look at it just from a CFD point of view. Okay, so I'm still bearish on all indices. Sorry, I do see this move is very likely to happen as well. So I like the recent double top that we see. Great price breakout. Again, this is pretty correctively moved. It's not an impulsive move. This is more like a ascending channel. We broke the double top. We have this massive drop on the intraday chart onto the 15-minute. So this is a pretty sharp drop, okay? And it's already forming some sort of correction here. So expect next New York session, if we get this continuation correction develop, I do think this is a very bad sell. If we zoom out a little bit, I do like the structure overall because if we zoom out a little bit, this is a pretty strong impulsive move. This is a correction. However, another impulse move. Price is not going to shoot once more like that. It's going to form a larger continuation correction. So I would key to see if the price actually dropped down to the lows here, completing this larger continuation structure for that move I just mentioned, and we're getting a next move up. Okay, that's why I see on down for the upcoming days and weeks, really. That's how I see it because this move is this move from after the COVID is pretty sharp. Okay, this move itself is pretty sharp. In order to keep going up, this is not going to keep going up. It's structurally it doesn't make sense. You need to have another push down at least, completing this larger structure, and then we're gonna get the next bull push up. That's how I see on down on and on most of the indices as well. Okay. So that is it, guys. If there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. If not, and I will close the stream here, and I can chat with everyone next time. All right. So thank you very much for tuning into this one, and hope you guys enjoy it. And I'll chat with you guys next time. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.